Okay, this one goes right to the category of stream of consciousness. I was just pumping up my car with gas, and kind of like I'm pumped up with gas a lot. All jokes aside, the machine at the gas station was talking to me. The pump was talking to me in Japanese. It was a woman, and it had this. No, my Japanese is not good, but I mean, I can get by, and I can detect airs. You know, people talk about putting on airs, and the gas pump was putting on airs. Definitely putting on airs. It had this tone about it that was this kind of a haughty type of a voice that you see in Japanese dramas when the character is kind of the villain type. You know, in contemporary dramas, you'll see a bunch of housewives together, and there'll be the heroine, the young housewife trying to get by, and then there'll be the nasty housewife that is leading her pack of underlings who are too weak to be nice, and she's got some vendetta she's got against the other one. Yeah, it's a standard procedure, and just like in English, they'll put on kind of an air of a voice, a vocal sound, a way of using words, enunciation, and tone that gives them that kind of a haughty air. And it was the same thing. And the pump was doing it. The gas pump had this kind of a rarefied way of speaking, and I was sitting there listening to the pump as it talked to me, and I was thinking about how that if this was in this United States where I'm from, that would have kind of had that would have been almost. Nobody would have selected that. The engineers, and I know that there's a distinction between a cultural distinction on how they do this. Hold on, Kurt. Don't get too mixed up here. Stick with my thought there. I know that the gas pump in the States wouldn't have had that air because our cultural sensibilities are different. And this is not a label or criticism. This is just a distinction that's made. Similar to the way that Siri does things. Siri, of course, the voice interactive interface with the iPhone 4S. My wife was pointing out to me that if you ask Siri in Japanese, the Japanese Siri in Japanese, "Do you love me?" It will say, "Do you like me?" And it'll say, "Of course I love you," in Japanese. It's daisuki. But if you ask it in English, the Siri responds with something along the lines of, well, let's just hear it, guys. Here, I'll ask it right now, and then show what it says. Siri, do you love me?
I respect you.
Okay, well, there's good. I respect you. The last time I asked it, it said, this is all about you. This is not about me, this is all about you. So it's giving me a response that is culturally tuned. The Japanese really like that. My wife appreciated it, and she was telling me how that was very Japanese of the thing to say, I love you. Not just that I like you, but I love you. But in the English, it's more along the lines of, I respect you, it's not about me, it's about you. It's culturally tuned, just like the gas pumps are as well. So back to my point. Why am I talking about the gas pumps doing things? Well, the Japanese don't mind that kind of aristocratic way of speaking in terms of when it comes from something of authority and something that is in charge of something. Well, the gas pump really is in charge of deciding about the dispensation of gas, the price, and the receipt, and telling you what to do in terms of pushing buttons and the like. Japanese bosses sometimes have kind of a way of speaking that takes that on. Watch a Japanese drama. Watch an older Japanese man. Oh my goodness, watch an older Japanese man, a man of dignity, a man of well-earned respect speaking. You will see it in action. He almost sounds like he's got this gravelly growl in his voice. Sounds like a samurai daimyo speaking. And if you watch the samurai drama, they speak the same way. So, and likewise with the samurai drama, if you watch the shogun's mother, there was a drama sometimes back about the shogun's mother. She spoke with the same type of voice that the gas pump spoke with. Now, the point I want to get to, I haven't gotten to yet. The point I want to get to is that here in Japan, they maintain a respect for that type of social class, that social structure. Whereas in the United States, we don't have a lot of respect for that anymore. We are a country where if you are, for example, which king was it? One of the kings of England who gave up the throne and renounced his his throne so that he could marry an American woman. I think he had to give up his title. I think he got the Prince of something after that. You have to give it up. Anybody that comes to the United States who is a person of titles has to give up those titles. You can't have any dukes or earls or anything like that in the United States. We just don't do that anymore. I think it comes from our rejection of aristocracy and our throwing off of the concept of class and structure in that capacity, and the claim that we earnestly and honestly and in our hearts maintain that all men are indeed created equal, even though the result of a capitalistic society sometimes does indeed to distill us out into distinct groups. Nevertheless, we are a culture that does not hold inherent respect for those in authority, and the vocalizations, the airs that they put on, the distinction of class. You could say that we do it in a way, the Donald Trumps, have a degree of respect by the way that they dress and the cars that they drive and the houses they live in. That's absolutely true, but that's a different type of thing. I mean, it's similar. It's class structure, but it's a different type of class structure. The privilege, the inherited type. I don't know how to describe it. The type of thing that comes of just being a birthright. We don't respect that as much. Just as we don't have a lot of respect for young men who are raised, or women who are raised with a silver spoon in their mouth and who go on to live a life of privilege just by virtue of the fact of their birthright. We have much more respect for those who earn it on their own. But here in Japan, someone who is born into a distinct family, a high-class family, and who goes on to live a life under the auspices of that and the protection of that family, and to inherit the mantle, so to speak, that comes with that, such as the eldest son of a family, can indeed be quite well respected. My wife's uncle, for example, is a great example of that. He basically is a man who has lived under one roof his entire life. He's in his late 80s now. He was born under this one house, and he has lived his whole life there. He inherited the mantle from his father. He never had a mortgage. He never paid a rent. He never created a household or a family on his own. He only maintained a legacy that was continued from other. Yet he is one of the most respected men in our community by virtue of the fact that he was a part of this lineage, not by virtue of the fact that he created it on his own. Now, Japanese do respect those who create it on their own, but they also hold a respect for those that simply are continuing a birthright. So the long-winded approach. This is stream of consciousness, of course, and a very fast one as well. I haven't had too much coffee, but enough to get me charged up. The point is, here in Japan, they still hold it, and it's not something that they may ever give up. When I say still, they hold a respect for the class, the elements of class, and the elements of when the class is social hierarchy and structure, and the trappings of hierarchy. Whereas in the United States, we have much less regard for that type of thing. Even though it's there, we still wealth speaks volumes in terms of status. We have much less respect for that, and in fact, our mechanisms, our robots, our computers speak to us in the same manner of egalitarian equality that we expect and we speak with ourselves. Likewise, here in Japan, the computers and the robots may take on the class distinction, the vocalities, is that even a word? The sound and the air of putting on airs. Yes, robots and computers putting on airs. They do indeed do that here in Japan. Well, I guess I'll sign off for now, friends. Thanks for listening to my 9-minute ramble before I go hiking in the mountains. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going into the deep mountains right now to search for giant spiders, deadly hornets, and the elusive waterfall of 2011, which I could not find, which I hope to today. And look at those clouds in the distance. I can't wait. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to my ramble. Whoa, hold it steady, girl. Push the button. After the car passes, now it's safe. Bye.